Hi everyone, Colin Shadwell back with the last of the summer work. I'm officially done glazing everything. It took a long time. I'm months and months in, but everything's finished now. So I just had a couple big vases left over that needed to be done, and I kind of got distracted by side projects and, of course, my job of teaching wonderful students at Highlands Middle School and High School. And then I've had these pieces glazed for a little over a week and a half now, and then I came down with a nice chest cough. So if you hear me pause or cough at any time in this video, I'll try to edit it out. But anyway, let's take a look at some of the stuff I've made here, and we can kind of finish up this series. So if you remember, this is one of the first vases that I did. This is the teardrop vase. This was one that I did in some low fire clay that I had left over, just kind of seeing if I could do some of this cutout stuff, and it turned out actually pretty nice. This glaze was not intentional. I found some old glazes that I wanted to use, and they ended up running and looking pretty bad, so I had to kind of glaze this a couple different times and fired a couple different times to get to this point. But on the outside I have old brick, which is a nice glaze that I've used a couple different times in previous videos, and on the inside I'm using iron moss, which I used on my teapot beaker from last summer. So not a bad vase to start out with, not the best glaze job in the world, but still an overall effective piece. So here's the hacksaw vase, my first hacksaw vase that I did. Not a really big fan of this one. I don't know. The overall shape of it and the pieces I put back on, I was just trying to experiment and try to do something new here. So yeah, I've had some people say that, oh, I love this piece, and some people don't really care for it. I really don't care for it, but the glaze is kind of interesting. I experimented a little bit. I put a base coat of indigo float, which is again one of the Potter's Choice glazes, with a top coat of vert luster, which runs a lot, which you can see it kind of running down the side. And anywhere I had a cutout, like the negative space, I left the indigo float in there. So it gets a nice little contrast of this kind of greenish turquoise color popping out with the indigo float in the background. You really have to lay this stuff on really thick. I mean, especially these Potter's Choice glazes, they really have to go on super thick. So again, not my favorite piece in the whole series, but some people like it, and hopefully they like it enough to buy it. That would be nice too. So this is a piece that I did off camera, I think during one of my outside throwing sessions. I had it kind of left over. I just kind of threw it. I had some leftover clay and made this, and then I decided to try again for one of these tunnel vases. They were really difficult to do because the tunnels, you have to kind of wait for the clay to dry and then stick this tunnel in there and hope that it doesn't crack, and it usually cracked along the edge here. But I do like the color that I ended up putting on. This was kind of an experiment with me too. I'd never tried this color before, but I tried a base layer of toasted sage, which is really kind of like a bright gray color. And then I put palladium on top of it, which is really like a silvery, runny thing that I've put on a lot of different pieces. And it got a really cool effect, this kind of runny greens and silvers and some little blue speckles in there as well. So I left the inside just the toasted gray, you can see, to kind of give it a little contrast. But an interesting piece. If it wasn't cracked along the edges, I think I'd like it a lot more, but still very nice. This one came from my two-piece cutout base that I did the video. This is a nice one. I like the shape of this vase a lot. This was actually made in two pieces and put together. This has also got a base of blue rutile and then a top coat of toasted sage, which I used, I believe, on the indent teapot. I like the color on the indent teapot just a little bit more because I think I just got more glaze on it. The more glaze you put on here, the more thick it kind of gets. This one was just a little bit thinner than I would have liked to. I think I was kind of running out of blue rutile, and it was just not as, I didn't get as thick as a coat as I wanted to. But still, the color came out really nice. It's that really light pale blue with some dark blue speckles in it. But here you can see on the rim, I wish I would have gotten just a little bit more color on there. But still, the shape is really nice, and the overall look of the vase is really cool. It's just kind of a nice big piece that I think turned out pretty well. So this big boy I did off camera. This is one that I was just experimenting with. This is a two-piecer that I did, the bottom half and the top half, and put them together just to see if I could do it. And then I threw an extra bowl and then put some grooves on the inside, it stamped on the outside, and kind of cut a hole in the side of it and put the bowl inside. So this one I really wish I would have gotten on camera, but the end result is really cool. The color I absolutely love. There's this color called tourmaline, I think it's how it's pronounced, which is a horrendous blue. I don't like it at all. I've used it on some. But as an undercoat with palladium on top, you get such cool variations. This thing in the sun puts off some of the coolest glares on tables that I've ever seen. You get some amazing effects. I love how the circular little design runs in the middle. And it's a big guy. I would say it's probably 16, 17, 18 inches tall and really big and fat too. So it's a really cool piece. I like it a lot. This one turned out really well. So here we are. Sometimes your biggest fails can come back and be one of your favorite pieces. This is from my outside cutout vase number 5 with epic fail. This is the one that I got ambitious on the carving and ended up chopping off the entire bottom of this guy and just ended up saving it by throwing it on a slab and calling it done and hoping for the best. And it ended up coming out great. I love this color combination. This is a base coat of 2 base coats of Tomoku with 2 top coats of seaweed. And this color combination really runs a lot with lots of greens, and the brown underneath the Tomoku looks really good. When it gets in the holes, it runs a lot too. So I love the way the holes swirl up in kind of a wave pattern, the way the glaze drips out of there. That green really gets in there and drips out of the holes too. And makes it just for a really interesting piece. I love the shape. I wish it could have been taller. I wish I could have gotten the whole piece and I hadn't gotten so aggressive with the carving. But even with the flat bottom, this piece is already one of my favorites, and it's already sold. Yay! So I want to thank everyone for watching my videos of all the glaze pieces that I did from the summer, and for watching all my summer pieces. It's been such an amazing experience. I've gotten so many great responses. I've gotten like a million more views than I thought I would. Not a literal million, but thousands of more views than I thought I would. And people keep joining the channel, so it's great. It's been a great way for me to show my work, and I can't wait to start making more stuff. I'm doing little projects throughout the off season, well, my off season, which is this school year. I'm doing a little foray into some Christmas ornaments, which I'm going to do a little demo video for here, and you can see some results of that. But I just want to say thank you to all the people that are watching these videos. It really is an amazing experience getting your artwork out in a video like this. So I hope that you'll keep watching. I'll keep posting, and if you have comments, leave me comments, leave me likes, and let me know what you think. I'm always open to hear what you guys think about my artwork, and let me know if there's anything else I can make for you guys. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time.